Welcome to SkuSuite, your inventory and order management software solution. My name is Aaron, and I am founder and CEO. In this video today, I want to show you how easy it is to get a new account set up on our platform so you can start processing inventory and your orders all within one platform right away. Now to get started, what I'll do is I'll log into one of these accounts and I will show you, this is the dashboard, but that would be for a different video and discussion. For now, we're just going to focus on the settings because really everything happens from within the configurations and settings, which are all our features and functionalities, and this is really what's something you need to concentrate on as a new account. So first thing foremost, and within the account, you'll have the user management. Here you'll create all the users that you need. Within the user management, you have the opportunity to set editing permissions or not, if they can edit costs or serial numbers. You can set with them to log in directly to a specific page, and then you could of course limit the views for each one of the pages and features that we offer. Very important if you have certain users doing just certain roles or certain functions within the daily tasks. It's a good way to really limit them and so they don't break things or touch things that is unnecessary. Now getting to other settings, we have sales tax settings. These are where if you are shipping to a state within your state that you're obligated to charge sales tax for, here you can create the state, find the state that you're in or collecting sales tax from, put in the percentage, and then when you're creating an order, we automatically calculate that tax rate and apply it to the order. Customer groups and pricing tiers. These are, by default, we offer 3 pricing tiers, 1, 2, and 3 on the wholesale pricing. And then if you need any more, you can add as many as you'd like. And then the customer groups, what we do here is we give you an assignment for a pricing tier to a pricing group. So if you have specific groups that receive one price, another group receives another price, we give you unlimited capabilities for pricing products. We found that it's not really scalable if you are going to give each customer a unique price for a unique item and try to manage and scale that internally. It's really difficult. However, the option is there for you to edit pricing and use the last price that he received on the last order if it's discounted, but to automatically populate that is not a feature or function that we think is a scalable method. Customer attributes. These are attributes on a customer's account where you can create as many as you like to start saving the data that the customer has. So every customer that uses SkuSuite has different types of customers that have different types of data on their records, and you have the opportunity to track which one works for you. And then when you're importing customers, you can use that as a field. If you're exporting customers, you'll see that there as well, and then manage it within the customer account, which will be in another demonstration. Integrations, here you have the payment processors. We are PCI compliant. We take credit card processing right within the platform when you're creating a sales order or receiving a payment from a customer through credit cards. This allows for fast transactions. Call centers are using our platform to take orders by phone and really transact that. And once the transaction is cleared and processed, then you know you can go through the fulfillment stages. Addresses API, this is for locate.com. If you're looking up addresses quickly and you want to find it what's valid or not, it's just another API. Tax jars for taxes, APIs as well. Selling channels. This I would say is pretty critical, and here's an example of a client who gives us authorization to use their account as a demo account, but we want to show you how they have their main store, which is New York Man. They have their Shopify website, they have their Amazon, they have their eBay, they sell on FBA, they also sell on Walmart. All these channels can easily connect through connecting store. You go there, you add your all the seller ID, you follow the instructions. This should be super easy to connect your store wherever it's at, and then start synchronizing your inventory, start pulling in the orders, start pulling in FBA orders as well, creating FBA shipments. This is all through the platform. Within the main store settings, if you click edit, this is where you kind of brand it, put your logo, put your information, put the address. It's really neat when you're printing out invoices. This is automatically applied. If you want purchase order emails, this is all settings, part of your branding. The logos, custom fit to that invoice, and this is where you would kind of set that up. And then of course you have the connection, which the first purchase order number, first invoice number, where you want to start off with. By default, we like to set it at 1,000. Now for Shopify, or a lot of the integration stores that we have set up, every account is different. Everybody has different needs from our experience. We do different integration levels for different people that are posting products, posting listings, pulling listings, synchronizing inventory, recurrences, the scheduled tasks. There's so much going on. It's all related. It's all mapped together with SKUs, with aliases. People have multiple different listings for the same SKU internally. So we help track and really go through all of that. So on Amazon, for example, if you click on edit, you'll have all these different options here. Sync inventory, SFP if you're seller fulfilled prime seller, you're syncing FBA inventory if you want to sync FBA orders, and we automatically pull these things in as they come in. Every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, whatever, we are checking pending orders. We're making sure that your inventory is up to date, latest live inventory when orders are being processed or picked or even ordered and imported. It's extremely important to know also pending orders, what is being reserved, what warehouse has what available. It's one of the most critical aspects to our platform, I believe. So that's really the store setup and how you add stores to your account. Some clients just have their regular store setup, which is their main store, and then just creating invoices and sales orders, or they're just really going through the Shopify, Magento, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, and so on. This is a setting here. Do you want your orders to be automatically verified? So what we do here is we have a verification process that allows our clients to force the warehouse to verify orders. What that means is you have an order for 10 pieces, we can force the warehouse to verify those 10 pieces matches the order. It won't let you ship and fulfill unless you verify an order. It would either fall into awaiting verification, or some clients have a force verify before the order is actually creating a label for it. So these are type of rules that you want to look for within the settings that will really help the account get established properly. Shipping, ship from locations, wherever you're shipping from. Carriers and fulfillment. Who are your carriers? UPS, Stamps, FedEx, First Mile. If you have LTL and trucking, or even other carriers, you could customize and add whichever one you want. These are all used as methods and services that we pull in and are directly connected to these carriers. We're creating the shipping labels for you. We can directly print to thermal from our web-based platform, so that printing is just super easy, super fast. Packages, what packages for which service you have. If you want to disable it, we won't show it to you. Not everybody uses every single service available to them. These are shipping services within those packages. These are not enabled, so when you're creating a label or you're applying a preset or something, it's just not there. It's easier to navigate the system like that. And then we have the type of shopping cart shipping method for our sales order, where you could basically establish your own shipping rates. Not like saying UPS ground, but you'd say, standard shipping 1 to 5 days. It's 2-day air, $10. The overnight shipping, $24.99. Most shopping carts, most websites have options like that, so we can give you the table rate, or we can give you the flat rate setting, and then you can calculate the handling fees or anything like that. Is it per order or per item? Once it's enabled, you create them and kind of when you're creating that order, it's automatically calculating the shipping rates, or actually, the shipping method used. So that's mostly for the shipping carriers and fulfillment. As you can see, there's right now connected, Amazon Buy Shipping, USPS, Stamps.com, and UPS. Automations, this is for order filters if you want to filter orders, and then automation rules if you want to apply those filters to if you want to apply some rules to order filters, we can do that down the road. For your account, we have some AI built into that, so we learn what your order frequencies are, what really is happening on your account daily, and then we can go in and pretty much automate whatever recurring task you're doing. Invoices. Now we have representatives. These are basically representatives that are creating the invoice that should get either commissions, should be tracked who created the order. We have companies where people are creating the orders online, but they're not the reps on those accounts. So they're creating it for somebody else. This is a way how you can tag an order and tag that representative to that order. Terms, what are the terms that you're creating invoices for? So customers get net 10, credit card, a net 30, whatever terms you want to set up, you can do that. FOB, where it's being shipped from, if you want to apply that to your invoice, not necessarily required, but it's a good option to have. Starting invoice number, like I said before, we default this at 1,000. So when you're starting your first invoice, it's going to be 1,001. Discounts, you can create as many discounts, codes, coupons, whatever you want to do, and apply it to an order. Pretty interesting how we can have it set up with barcodes as well. So the code can equal a barcode. You could put that code either on your website or on a gift card. And there's a couple of clients that are doing things very, very differently to their own unique way. So it's pretty important to kind of focus on how you're using discounts as a company. Inventory management, the most interesting aspect to this processing. So warehouses. We have a lot of clients that have virtual warehouses all throughout, receiving warehouse, a testing warehouse, defective warehouse, and this allows to really set up a default warehouse so that when orders are coming in, it's automatically being picked and reserved from that warehouse if it's available inventory there. So if the default warehouse is enabled, do you want to automatically process an order if inventory is in multiple locations? So what that means is sometimes clients have the same inventory scattered in the same warehouse. And we have a rule, we have a validation that if the inventory is in the same place, don't allow it to process because the user has to identify where to process it from. However, if the setting here is selected to yes, then what that means is we'll go by the most quantity, which location has the most quantity, and we'll reserve it from there for you automatically. So when you have a pick list, you can automatically get it and from that location only. Does your company process orders from multiple warehouses? So by selecting yes on create invoice, a drop-down to select warehouse will be enabled. This will allow for orders to automatically be processed from that warehouse. What that means is if you have multiple warehouses that you are creating invoices from, it's a drop-down option that we add on the invoice. You select which warehouse is creating that order, and it's automatically going to get reserved from that warehouse only. Locations. Locations are within warehouses, so you can create as many bins, many locations as you need, drop shipping locations to get processed. This within a warehouse, everything has a location. So it needs to, our processing system has to reserve inventory from a specific location. So if you have a warehouse, you have to have a location. Some clients have a main warehouse and a main location just as kind of default, or some clients have really broken down bins, locations, rows, shelves. It's endless what you can do here. And this is where we help you identify what is your pick, pack, and ship process as a company. How can we get in there and really refine your process, save you time, save you money, get everything fully in the cloud, get all your data in place, make sure your inventory is perfect. Because if you don't know your numbers, it's really hard to do business like that. Classifications. So I would say one of our biggest unique differentiators in the space is serialization. We come from an electronics background or jewelry background with selling high-end watches and selling high-end electronics, phones, and each one of these devices, each one of these items, it had a serial number on it or it had an IMEI number on it, and we needed to track everything that came in and everything that went out, which customer got what, which customer got it when are they returning it, is it warranty valid, is the return fraud. We were getting tons of fraud returns because people were just swapping out brand new devices for old returned ones. We created the system to avoid that years ago, and today, we're certified app on the Amazon store because of that reason. It really allows to just stop fraud returns. You know where the inventory is coming from, which vendor, when it came in, when it went out, when it's coming back. I would say this is a great feature that we have. We've customized so many features and functionalities around it. We have a lot of clients that are using it today, and we have clients that are not. But it really depends on what kind of products you sell, what kind of tracking mechanism you need. It does add an extra layer of scanning or number entries that you need to do, because once a product has a classification that requires, let's just say, a unique identifier with or without a unique identifier, then there's no way to bypass it. You need to enter a serial number every time that inventory is being moved. So it's a double layer of inventory. It's not just a flat inventory count number. Now we're telling you what serial numbers are where, what is the history of it, what was the cost, if you have separate conditions for it. These are all very, very important things. So to move on with classifications, it's just like categories, I would say. It's very similar, but we sync the categories separately on people's websites. Shopify, Magento have categories, so we use categories for category synchronizations. It's also an extra layer of filtering or search if you need it, but it's very similar to classifications. A lot of clients have it duplicated or just differently. I would say the difference between classifications and categories is, one, here we track if it's the type of classification with or without the serial number requirements. Another thing with categories is you can kind of build a tree. You can add a category within a category. So boom, boy shoes name, and then you can put the category, make it a subcategory tree. That's what you can't really do on classifications. Transactional reasons. Why is every single item being added or removed to your inventory? This is important. If you have separate reasons that you want to add to your inventory, reasons of why it came in or why it moved, it's really just add or minus, but there's different reasons. So you want to track that. Manufacturers, who are your manufacturers? If you're a manufacturer, obviously disregard this, but there's manufacturers that clients do work with. Same thing with models. So you can import all these models. We can use this to synchronize your catalog to really any API or shopping cart that you have. Attributes, another thing like customer attributes, these are product attributes. You can create as many custom attributes as you need. Color, size, you name it. You add the attributes. Is it multiple select? Is it a text field? Is it a drop down? You decide what kind of attribute it is. We save it on your product catalog side. So when you're creating products or importing products, we save all that data for you. And then even taking that data that we save for you and sync it across to wherever you might need it. Restock alert. Really cool replenishment report and forecasting that we do. Two of the main questions part of that big formula that we have is, how many days of inventory do you want to make sure you have stock available for? So let's just say you want to be available for at least 10 days. That's going to be part of the formula. How many days back do you want to look at for sales trends? So you want to be in stock for 10 days. How many days back do you want to look? Do you want to look at 30-day history, a 7-day history, or a 14-day history? That's up to you based on your formula. We also do track lead times on the product level. that will be a separate discussion. But this is two of the things that you can get alerts emailed to you on restock replenishment reports. It's basically right here on the navigation, but this is a really, really cool tool that we developed. So we got the restock alert and now the shipping methods. These are for inventory transfers. What that means is if you are transferring inventory from one warehouse to another and you want a complete record and audit trail of what left the warehouse, when it left the warehouse, who created that transfer, who received that transfer, what was the expenses on that transfer so that it affects the cost of goods sold. This is something that you would have to get created. What's the shipping method name? And then when you create an inventory transfer, it will give you that option. So this is kind of a rundown of all of our functionalities within the settings. This is just some of the setup that it takes. We do a lot of things on the back end as well, but that would just be the start to getting the account going. Now, of course, you have your data. You have tons of importing tools that we have. You can import only products. You can import products updates. You can import products in inventory. We can import only inventory and update the inventory, import combos, import warehouse and locations. We call combos kits and bundles. We track that. We do that kind of the same way that everybody else is doing. You can do it a kit in multiple different ways. Is it multiple items? Is it multiple SKUs? Is it multiple SKUs and multiple items? Combos have aliases that one combo can be listed on a product in multiple different scenarios or listings. We try to really keep track of all of that. That inventory record or the parent product on that combo has to be tracked, has to be reserved. It has to be really thought out well on how we're using the combos and kits for your account. But we provide templates for each one of these. So if you want to just import and download your template files, we give you a template. We use your custom attributes and pricing tiers if you've created any. This is a way to get all your products in there. Once you download the template, you should receive a CSV file like that. I'll open one up for you so you can see it. And we want to retain the CSV file with the proper headings, with all the proper the import file that we're using. We don't want to really have that changed. It needs to stay within the same headers that we have here. Now, one thing I did want to point out where we find a lot of mistakes here is when you are downloading this template, you want to change the format on Excel to number with 0 decimal places. That will change this product code, which is essentially the barcode. If it's not a valid number, we can't import it. It can't be duplicates. We don't allow duplicate codes, or we don't allow duplicate SKUs. So this is important to reformat this column, which is your barcode number, your UPC or EAN number, code 128, when you're scanning in products in or out or on the packing slip. Very, very important to have that. Inventory also has a bunch of different levels of columns. You should check out each one. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you and walk you through it. So you want to really focus on getting your products imported. You want to get your inventory imported. You want to get your warehouses, classifications, categories, all of that really created dynamically for your account. If you want to import your customers, we can do that. You can update the customers as well. If you want to import your suppliers and vendors, we provide a template for that. So you really want to just focus on the template. It all needs to be in CSV format. It needs to make sure that there's no duplicates or it would fail. But we're here to help on any data migrations or anything like that. But this is where you want to focus in on. For printing, we'll go into the print settings later with QZ, our third-party printer, which allows for our platform to directly connect to your local printers and automatically print certain events. So for example, here it's called QZ, and then you could print to a specific printer that you would have. It's not connected on this machine, but we can help you and identify which printers you have, what is it printing for the labels, for the shipping labels, for the barcodes, for the pick list, there's for the invoices. There's a lot of different printing scenarios. Packing slips. We really want to, we get down to all the details that you're doing. And this is pretty much how to get your account set up and going. If you have no inventory on our platform, we can't process orders for you. You would not be able to bypass that step. It's one of our most critical aspects to our platform. So if you don't have inventory here, I'm sorry, you got to get inventory. We're we're really strict with inventory management. We make sure that we keep a track of everything going on in all the warehouses and all the locations, who's touching what, and it's really important that we keep that at. Um, Store listings with FBA. I mean, we'll get into a lot of these other details after, but this is just the new account setup. We want to get you leading in the right direction to getting your data organized using our templates that we provide for you. Again, you could go to tools, importing. Right here we have templates on each one of these that you can download and use, and you want to just populate that information inside those Excel spreadsheets and import them. If something's not working, send us an email to support@skusuite.com. A ticket will automatically get generated. One of our developers will get on it, or myself, right away. We will look into why it's not getting processed, and we will help you absolutely right away. So those are just really some of the things. You want to get your vendors, your customers, your products, your inventory, your warehouse design implemented, your pick, pack, and ship processes, where are orders coming from, store channels, what integrations that you're needing for your account to work flawlessly. And the purpose of SkuSuite is really to make sure your inventory and your orders are being pick, packed, processed internally in the most efficient way, so that you can deal with 100 orders, 1,000 orders every day so easily with the breeze. I mean, we have clients that do over 100,000 orders a month on our platform. So we've perfected the system to really allow for fast label patches and processing all these orders automatically, and certain validation rules and guardrails, who's touching, why are they touching it, and we can get into the orders on a different tutorial here, but this is really where is the start. If you don't connect your settings, you can't see none of this. If you don't have your products implemented, you can't add inventory. There's a process for every single thing that's happening in the system. So it's important that we follow the steps. You need your products. You need your inventory that go into products. Inventory must have a location, must have a warehouse. You can't import inventory without that. Your customers, your vendors, all that information is something that we help you keep track of day in, day out. Log in from wherever you are, and run your business efficiently. Again, appreciate your time watching this video. This is just focused on the new account setups and users and some of the features and functionalities that we offer. Any questions, please reach out to us at any time, and we look forward to your onboarding and success on our platform. Have a wonderful day.